putting up the hotel where the hospital is supposed to be, or is it a storage facility? Because I know that in 6 months they are putting up a hotel.
Yes,
They are putting up a hotel in 6 months,
that's
and
right.
at the same time, the minister do it should have told the residents of 6 months, especially those along the coast, especially those who are residents right outside the hotel, whether they are going to stay there after the construction is completed.
Mm. I
Okay.
am telling you. Continue, Mr. Go, continue, Mr. Babb.
Because because the whole construction of that hotel is shrouded in secrecy.
Mm-hmm.
The 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 future of the residents and the land estates is still up in the air. The existence of a fishing village right next to a multi-million-dollar hotel, the refusal to complete the because in the last hurricane we had some encroaching of the sea right across the road, and that happens regularly,
Mm-hmm.
and nothing has been done so far to and we're approaching the hurricane season, and nothing
Again,
has been yes, and nothing has been done even to the road across Sherman's to prevent such a occurrence that had happened that destroyed the boats in the harbor. But we can get on the table arrangements saying to us that this is what is happening at Harrison's Point. And this is a government will make us feel that they're interested in healthcare. And then they're saying to us that they would have stored all the equipment there. Where at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital? This stores it in containers. If there are beds there, is Queen Elizabeth equipped with more bed space? Those are the questions that we want to have answered. Yes, they seem not to tell us with everything they do in terms of money coming in, and it is not. We're still to find out what or who or where this bounty originated from, and
Mm-hmm.
if it was the full amount. And the apostle is correct because it appeared to me that during COVID that there was it became as if look, we have somewhere. This is getting more than us. Let us find somewhere to house those persons who are getting worse. It wasn't a planned project
Mm-hmm.
no,
in terms of it just happened to be there, and this is what and the amount of equipment that we are seeing there. A government that is now struggling even to maintain our basic healthcare system. You see them producing that type of money at a drop of a hat, unless it was a part of a bounty. To have those amount of beds and high-tech equipment in one place in just a short space of time,
exactly.
no, no.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So this government has always proven that they will never tell the Barbadian public the truth about anything. It comes across as a need to know. You treat us like there was a time I went on a track competition, and we had a manager who who happened to be in the army, and information was slow in coming. And when questioned, he said is on a need to know basis. So this
Right.
government treats the Barbadian public, who are its we are the bosses really,
Yes. Yeah.
and they treat us as if this kind of what you're revealing here tonight as a need to know. We only tell you if we think that you should know about it.
Mm.
And they always operate with this shroud of secrecy about, especially when it comes to large sums of money. And we seem
That's
not
true.
to know where the money is coming from, how it's being spent, and why.
Very
But
strange.
it's puzzling. It was puzzling, Marcia. Coming out of COVID, all or the majority of economists advise us that the right thing to do is to diversify from tourism because of the effects of, and we talk very long, much longer than the rest of the Caribbean to bounce back from the fallout from COVID as it relates to the effects from tourism
Mm-hmm.
to pick back up. But here it is coming out of COVID that we're building. There's a building boom, as I would call it, from all the South Coast onto the West Coast, the
Right.
building of hotels, which goes against the advice that was offered. I wonder why that after the effects of COVID and what it did to our tourism product, that we would then go back into that same type of economic plan that making tourism um we are even doing it more now than
Yes.
before. We're building and building. So I am not sure what is really happening.
Building hotels. You know, there's
I
this
don't know.
whole
I don't know where they expect the numbers to come from to fill
Mhm.
Right.
these hotels. I'm not I'm not seeing in fact I'm not seeing that type of activity. I know that the BTMI and those others responsible for promoting Barbados would not leave would not hold a secret of their intentions of marketing out there to bring tourism to the shore. I am
Right.
saying that tourism minister like the one we have will not allow us, will not hide from us the fact that they're out there working to bring up the numbers as it relates to tourists coming to Barbados. Um, we're still not hearing about the what has happened to the $750,000 that went into preparing the slogan. There's no new slogan, and we're still the work out there. I'm not saying the work out there being advertised
Mm.
or any evidence of any international plans for bringing tourism to fill all of these hotels along the coast. So
Yeah.
it's puzzling. It's very puzzling to see that kind of construction going on. Open.
The
Yeah.
one that the one that they just got the ribbon for, because the
Yeah.
whole thing, this don't make any sense.
Right. Right.
I think that was the emergence of the that saw the emergence of the health minister, because we
Right.
did not see or hear from him for a very long time, other than
Mhm.
at that point in time wondering what interest he has.
Okay.
It's very interesting, you know. I don't know, something is wrong here. I think that we need to make some demands, Apostle, from
Yes,
this
ma'am.
government, because healthcare is too important to us.
Yes.
And if this seems to me like it's a march. We need to march for transparency on this issue here. This seems to me, Mr. Babb, we need to hit the streets. You know, let crop overcome and we hit the streets. Something, you know.
Because health, yes, because health is a nation that is unhealthy has so many other problems,
Yeah.
and the
That's
health
true.
of your health is very. If you're unhealthy, you can't work. If you're unhealthy, you can't be productive in the workplace. If you're
Exactly.
unhealthy, if you're unhealthy, you can't take care of your family. You become a dependent. So and you create a lot of expense and dependency on other people to maintain your health. So
That's
therefore,
right.
if they are treating healthcare as if it does not matter to our, what are they saying to us? We may be poor, but if you're healthy, you know, that goes a long way in terms of um, your whole outlook on life.
Yeah.
So therefore, they
Well,
have to take the health of the and a facility like that was used um, at a time where we were really down should not be just discarded without even the knowledge or of the or saying something to the Barbadian public at an early stage.
But
Hi, good evening, everybody again. My concern is that I will start by saying that a hungry people is an angry people, and on the nourished people produces a unhealthy nation. Food should not also always food should also be affordable and available for persons. And I every day pick up the newspaper. I see our minister making some elaborate statements. and giving the impression that all is well with food in Barbados. But those of us who go into the supermarket and we move around, we know that is not the case. We see farmers crying out because of predial larceny. And that brings frustration. A person can decide that it makes no sense. I continue to farm at this level and I cannot bring my produce to market. So some serious approach has to be given to predial larceny, the affordability of food. The last thing I saw was the minister going to Brazil. The last that went to Brazil, we know the folklore.
Yeah. Yeah.
We know that song very well.
Yep.
And we are well aware that there are a lot of lands that are managed by the DMC that can also be dedicated to increased fruit farming. We can look at what is happening to the soil conservation and see why that has fallen off. Because there will come a time, and it is approaching where all those imports that we are dependent on in terms of tariffs, etc., we are going to have serious consequence on what is available for us in the supermarkets and what we're going to feed our people. And there's some questions I want to ask as well. There is a place called Veg Grow at 6 Roads. Is it true that it's being rented by this government? And I'm hearing
it's called Vegco, right?
Yeah, Veg Grow.
Veg Grow.
Yes. And it's rented by this government. And is it true that the monthly cost for rent is about $45,000? And this is 2 months that has passed, and there's no activity there.
Repeat that. Repeat what you're saying.
That there is a facility, Veg Grow, at 6 Roads.
Let me ask the people, anybody here buy fruits and vegetables at Veg Grow? Anybody watching, do you go to St. Philip to buy your fruits and vegetables? We've been there. So tell me.
And that facility is being rented. Is it being rented by the government? What is the monthly cost? And what is there after 2 months of rent costing taxpayers in excess of probably $45,000 a month? Why is there no activity there? I also want to ask the minister about our sheep that went to Guyana. What is the status of our sheep? And what is being done to ensure that that planned increase in mutton or black belly sheep that was taken to Guyana has after all of these months has there been any real improvement in the numbers in terms of producing more black belly sheep? When will those numbers be at a level that they can be brought back to Barbados? And why were they taken there in the first place? You see, when our people, for me, eating healthy is important. And it must be at a state where our people can afford to buy healthy food. And if you're buying food from overseas, which are sprayed, as opposed to buying food which is grown here and goes from the field into the market, that protects our health. A good question by Michelle. Who is the landlord of Vegco? So those are the type of questions that we have to, if you're serious about food production. And if you're building all of these hotels along the coast, aren't we get ourselves in a position where we can supply those hotels? So I'm saying to the minister that and instead of going to Brazil for a trip, he needs to come to us as Barbadians and tell us what is really happening with our food production and our provision for quality food for our Barbadians. And that is where I'll leave it tonight.
Wow. Mr. Babb, what are some of the pros of this the Caricom?
I think that
Uh,
this is a very sensitive topic and have been for all our leaders, past and present. There has been this talk about freedom of movement by our people, and I believe that it's about working, being able to move from country to country and work. That is what I understand by freedom of movement. That you should there be little restriction placed on persons who are skilled, that can go into that who are qualified that can go into a country and find work.
mhm.
Um, but if you're allowing, if freedom of movement means that you're allowing people to come and live, um, we have a situation in this country where this government has a very poor record on providing housing. How are if there is this avalanche of persons now from October 1st, which happens to be the Prime Minister's birthday, coming into Barbados, being allowed to come into Barbados, where
Well,
are we
before
going
you
to?
move on there, why weren't we surprised that she would make it? It's on her birthday. It's always about her. Anyway, continue.
Where are we? Or where are we going to house these persons? Um, we are struggling to provide housing for our own nationals, and then you have this open door policy. But for me, I believe that the freedom of movement within the Caribbean should be related to skill and the ability to work once you are educated and you provide a skill that and you can apply for a job within another country
Right.
without the number of restrictions. Not that is the open door policy, so that you pick up your family or your gang and you decide it is too much in this territory. Let me move to Barbados and set up my own territory, which becomes your spot now for your criminal activity.
Right.
So there has to be some explanation and more dialogue about what this freedom of movement and open door means for us.
Yeah. Mr. Bob, what are your thoughts on that before we close?
I believe that what is troubling that there's so many people and organizations like the media who it is so easy for them since 2018 to compromise their standards, to throw principle and right through the door. For what reason? And sometimes when you look below the surface, it is about protecting their own interests, and their own interest surrounds the almighty dollar, what they're being paid, how much they're being paid. We're seeing it from influencers. I saw one of their persons who has the initial of PK confirming that there's some activities going on at the NCF that he's going to expose in terms of who getting, and I suspect what he's talking about that he has found out, and he's probably looking for some of the money coming to him.
Exactly.
So I am saying that it is troubling that persons who used to speak and speak with authority and will keep Barbadians in the know and will let the government of the day understand that what you are doing to this country is not right. What you're doing to our people. And then we have our people when the opportunity and when the opportunity arises, that we take matters into our own destiny, into our own hands, that we decide, like what we decided in 2018 and 2022, that we are fed up. And this is our country. And if you're not doing, and if you're making us uncomfortable, we're going to provide you with some discomfort as well. And the time has come for us to say to this government that you are making us uncomfortable. And those persons who used to speak with authority, those persons who used to come out, I don't know if they were promised or they were given, And I know there was a time one prime minister said that if once you know your price, we can figure you out. So I'm saying that it is troubling, and we need to get back. We are a people that if some person is unfair, some person on the street, we will raise our voices. This government is unfair the masses of people, and we need to raise our voices.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And that is all, and that is for the media and those persons who know better.
Yeah, so we have a bought media.